Hi everyone, it's Chris at Cork and Crown, back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. And it's a single variety today, and it is a cider today. It's not a perry. We had, what did we have yesterday? Vintage from Bridge Farm, which I enjoyed. And we ate some Kingston Black Apple, which I'd picked out of the orchards at Bridge Farm when I was there. And that was really interesting as well. So on the same day yesterday, I went to Secret Orchard, picked up, actually, cider vinegar, actually, a lot of cider vinegar. That's kind of what I needed more than anything, and it's been really popular. So they got lots of that, stocked up. But while I was there, I said to him, can I buy some Yarlington Keeve cider off you? Because he'd made some Keeve cider and gave it to me. And I had tried it, and I had liked it, and I'd gone back and I'd wanted some more. But it was still in a box at the back, unlabelled, so he let me get a couple off him anyway. And he said, it's drier than the last lot that you have. Try it and see. So, the last lot I tasted was in video number 61, I think. I posted that up yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was number 61. So if you want to have a look at it, go and have a look at it. And it was interesting watching it back, because you forget so much, and you watch it and it all comes back to you like, oh yeah, I remember that now. I remember trying that. I remember thinking that at the time. And how interesting it was. And there was something very interesting about it. And it had like, well, let's get into it. So, absolutely nothing on the label, because there is still no label on it, which is kind of flipping cool, I think. You know you've got interesting stuff when you're getting stuff off people with no label on. That means nobody else in the world, for the most part, is drinking it. So, this is super fizzy. It's kind of cold, but I'm going to open it very gently, because I don't want to get covered, like I did last time, in juice. So, this is a single variety, and the single variety, it's one of my favourites, is Yarlington Mill. So Yarlington Mill from Somerset was found growing out of the wall of the water wheel at the mill at Yarlington. And Yarlington is interesting because from a cheese perspective, put my cheese hat on, Yarlington is a neighbouring village to North Cadbury, and North Cadbury is where Montgomery's cheddar is made, one of the, if not, some might say, the greatest cheddar in the world, certainly up there, cloth bound. Third generation cheddar maker, I think. Cracking stuff. And that cheddar cider relationship. And that just sums it up right there. These two things are born almost in the same village, two greats of their respective, genres, is that right? Cheese and cider. So yeah, let's pour this out and have a look at it. Yarlington Mill. So yeah, actually grown out the wall, was planted in the garden of Yarlington Mill and nursed by the nurseryman, the guy who looked after the orchards. Is that the right term? And he was called Harry Masters. Now there's an interesting name, isn't it? Because you may recall, if you've been, drinking lots of cider or watching these films, Harry Masters, in fact, very recently we had a Harry Masters jersey, single variety from Ross and White. So Harry Masters, what a great man. So not only did he propagate Yarlington Mill, he also did Harry Masters jersey as well. It was named in his honour. And actually, there was some Harry Masters jersey at Yarlington Secret Orchard yesterday. There's a big container of it. He just had a load in. He was going to press it. Cool, huh? Cool, huh? Okay, so there we go. So definitely fizzy. So keeved. So fined. So residual sugar. One assumes, we said this had gone dry, which is interesting. Also, the fining process, and it's not that clear. So I'm got a quiz Joe about this, because it's very interesting that it is a fining process. So it doesn't always take it, doesn't make it super bright always. Thinking about Greg's Pit, their Keeve, and that kind of looks the same sort of colour actually, and haziness as a Greg's Pit. I'm thinking the dabbing at Yarlington Mill specifically. But yeah, nice mousse. It was pretty fizzy. I managed to get it open. It wasn't full at the top though, which is kind of good. If it had been full at the top, that would have come out. So let's smell it. Smells keeved. It's got that baked apple character. Not quite tartar-tam, bordering maybe. Hints of tartar-tam. Certainly baked apple, which is what you get from Keeve cider. Was the thing I love about it so much. I mean, who doesn't love tartar-tam? I mean, anyone putting their hand up, just leave the rum. Tartar-tam is one of the greatest things ever invented, I think. Was it the Tartan sisters? Were cooking for friends, ballsed it up, and ended up having to do this upside down thing, and that's how it got invented. Something like that. I think it's something like that. Google it if you want to know. Okay, so yeah. Rich nose, not overly sweet. You don't tend to get much acidity in sort of these Keeved French style ciders, to be honest with you, but they're using varietals that aren't that acid. Yarrington Mill is a bitter sweet, so it's not super acid. Got good tannin and sugar though. But there's lots of single varieties, so I assume it's pretty balanced though. Okay, let's try it. There is tannin. There is tannin. There is sugar, but it's just off dry. Not that sweet. For me, it's closer to like some of the Breton ciders I've had, which, I mean, it might just be the ones I've had. I'm not saying this is a trend in Breton as opposed to Normand ciders, Normandy ciders. However, in Breton, I think you can break it down into regions and the styles, even though it's a small area. But this does have a character, which I noted. So I think I'd like it with a bit more sweetness. I think I like sweetness in the Keeved ciders. It's one of the things about Keeved ciders that I like, and I like the fact that it's natural sugars in there to give it that sort of baked apple character, and that's what I want. This is a tasty cider, but I think if it's Keeved, I want to have those residual apple sugars in there. I think I need that. You know, that's kind of what I'm looking for. And if I buy a Keeved cider, I'm expecting that. Okay, this is a good cider, but I might be disappointed if I was looking to get something that, you know, was more typical of a Keeved flavour profile. Let's put it like that. But it does have a thing. Low acid, but, I said this last time, so there's very little acidity, a tiny bit, a little bit, minimal acidity here, I would say. But there's something down the middle of my tongue. And I think I said last time it was always behaving like acidity. It was making my mouth water. And actually, it's the opposite of acidity in every kind of thing. So normally what you get here is acid. And I feel like what I've got down the middle of my tongue is alkaline. It's a real mineral quality to it. And I think I said last time it reminded me of like really hard, like really full on mineral water that you can get from like volcanic regions. And I've got that again. It's got almost like an alkaline character down the middle of my tongue, and I hadn't experienced it before. And I'm getting it again. This is reminding me a bit of the last one, actually. I think it's just a bit less sweet, but I think it's very similar. I think I want a bit more sugar. That's what I want. I'm going to very happily drink this, but I think it's the first Keeved cider that Joe's done. So actually, constructive feedback is exactly what he wants. You know, constructive feedback. Not going, Joe, this is shit. That's not good. That doesn't help anybody. What you want is constructive feedback. And it isn't shit, Joe, if you're watching this. It's good cider. But I think it needs that natural apple sugar character to lift it, to give it another dimension, and to make it more fit into the Keeved box, if you like. We don't like to box things in, but you know what? I like Keeved cider, and one of the things I like about it is the sugar. So there you go. How about that? Okay, guys. Got to enjoy this. What we got coming up next? Can't remember. Stuff. We've got stuff coming up next. All right. So yeah, thank you for joining me. You can't get hold of any of this, but yeah, that's a pity because it's all right. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Come back again. Until then, cheers.